Rightio, g'day students. Today we just want to use Excel and we want to just use Excel to see the effect of missing a repayment or doing an extra big repayment on the effect of the balance of the home loan. We'll also have a look at the effect of changing interest rates on the home loan, and I've got a couple of little Excel screenshots for you to have a look at there. Spreadsheet now. We're just going to look at the effect of missing a payment or putting in extra repayment. So let's remember how we create our spreadsheet. Now I've taken our house price down from last lesson. So I said last time we borrowed 500,000 and what do we either repay back 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 or 4,000 at an interest rate of 4.7%. And we had a formula that looked a bit like this, and we'll create a similar one today. But what we want to do is just consider what the effect of missing a payment might look like. So let's first of all put in our growth rate. So remember, your growth rate is 1 plus, now it's got to be, in this case it's just a monthly repayment, so we'll go the interest rate of 4.7% over 12 months in a year because it's an annual interest rate, and then we want to multiply it, so I need my asterisk button, by the one just above it. So this is before the repayment is taken out. So let's just say here's our repayment of $1,000. Let's change this to $2,000 a month, and we can see that that effect is working in nicely. Now I want to just lock in, so I'll just go B3 and B3, and the red one's B7. I want to keep that doing, but I want to lock in the blue one as well. So just, it's nice that Excel is just color coding that, and we can see that that's working down. So let's just select, and we might go for 2 years, so that's 24 months. And we'll graph that. Insert, here's a graph. So the home loan's gone down from 250,000 down to about 220,000. But what we might do is sometimes you're in a bit of financial difficulty. What happens if I just pull off a repayment? You can see here that that graph has gone up, hasn't it? So the balance of the loan has increased. Now that's at the 11th month and 11th period, yeah. So that's gone up. So, or 10th, that makes better sense. And what happens if I want to, instead of saying $2,000, oh, well, I can actually catch up now, and let's pay a bit extra. You can see that that has dropped down again. So the effect of, first of all, missing a payment is to bring that line up, and I'll Control Z that. And sometimes we might want to put in an extra on our home loan. So maybe Grandma gave you $20,000 in her will, and you can see that that has dropped down quite a lot. So I've got the scale changing automatically there, but we've got a big repayment drop from 240 to 221,000 there. Okay, so now let's investigate the effect of the changing interest rates. And look at this, we've got one interest rate here set at 4.7%. So what we might do is, let's just say 4.7% will be our first interest rate. So at 4.7%. Well, let's see what would happen if we change this up to, say, 5% or 5.7%. So I might just look at the effect of increasing the interest rate. So, well, I'll say 5.7, and let's call this one 6.7. I was being smart, trying to put an @ sign in there just to help us tell the difference. Okay. So we've still got the same value that we're borrowing at the start, but in this case we've got 5.7% and this one is 6.7%. And this is going to still be borrowing 250,000 for this one. Now we'll just copy this over and change what we need to. So B4 divided by that, and that's looking all right. 979. Oh no, I need to change the blue one for this one, don't I? So I just drag that over. That's looking better. And I need to change this blue one over, so I'm just going to drag that over. And now let's complete this for the 2-year period. And then we'll graph the effect of the changing of interest rates on the loan. So let's now go insert our scatter plot. And what can you see? You can see that yes, the amount is still decreasing, but when the interest rate is increased, the line here is flatter, whereas the one with the smallest interest rate, it's a steeper line. It means you're paying off the loan faster. The last thing I suppose we can talk about is what happens halfway through a loan. So I might just go copy, and we'll create a copy here, and I'll just delete all of them. And yep, that'll be fine. But say halfway through here, let's say we get a big interest rate drop. Imagine, for example, it went down to 2%. Now, we'll say after the first year. Now, we might actually do it for the first year. So often there's a honeymoon period. So what that means is that banks will give you a year with low interest rates. And that scale is not really showing it well, so I'll just format the axis and I'll just make the minimum here 100,000. And so what's this saying? After 13 months, it's gone to 4.7%, but at 12 months, for 1 to 12 months, it's done that. Let's even change this minimum so we get this exaggerated curve, so it's more obvious. You can see that, yeah, this is increasing at a faster rate. It's a little bit harder to see. So let's change this up to something big then, just to really make that stand out. So what we can see is at 2% for the first 12 months, and then a change after 12 months. So at 13 months, it has gone to 10%, and that has really slowed down the reduction or the reducing balance of the home loan. When you're confident that you can solve these sorts of problems involving reducing balance home loans, folks, I'd like you to give exercise 6.3 a crack for your mastery questions.